Hello, it's Mr. Rops here, and we're going to do a quick little video on what we call relative frequency. Okay, and so if I consider this scenario, I have two coins were tossed 489 times, and the number of heads only occurring at each toss was recorded. The results are shown in this table. So that means when I flip two coins, right, in those two coins I could get a head and a head, right, or I could get a head and a tail on my coins, or I could get a tail and a head, or two tails are my options. And so I want to see what happens when I do that. Okay, so I'm going to have to, I recognize 489, and so these are all my outcomes, and these are the frequencies of these outcomes. So I know my grand total has to be 489 throws. I have two heads and I have 0 heads. The remaining has to be 1 head. So if I add 121 plus this mystery number plus 109, it'll give me 489. Or I could also take the 489 and subtract it from 121 and subtract it from 109. And when I do that, I get a 259. So I have 259 tosses of two coins where I had 1 head. All right, and so conveniently, I don't have to copy the table, but I can complete it. Now I'm going to do the relative frequency. And so the relative frequency means out of all these throws, the 489 throws, what's the probability of getting 121? Well, I just go 1 to 1 divided by 489, and that will give me the three significant figures. That's going to be 0.247. And I do the same thing for the other one. So I'm going to go 259 divided by the 489. And again, I get, if I round this, it's going to be 530 because the 6 rounded up. So 0.530 to three significant figures. And so now when I think about this value here, I know the total is 489. So my total probability of relative frequency is 1. Okay, and so in order to find the two heads, I could go 1 subtract these values, or I could also do the 109 and divide it by my total of 489, and that is going to be to three significant figures 0, 0.223. And if I add these three values up, I should get 1. Right, so that's A part finished, and I'm going to B part now. It says estimate the chance of the following events occurring. The probability of getting 0 heads, well, now that's going to be 0.247. Okay, a probability of 1 head, well, that's going to be 0.530, and then the probability of 2 heads, well, again, that's going to be 0.223. So here's your introduction to relative frequency. And these relative frequencies are the experimental probabilities. And sometimes when we do have situations that happen in the world, experimental probabilities are sometimes the only probabilities that we have to work off. There is no theoretical model at all.